About a year and 6 months ago, I opened an Etsy store to see if I could turn it into a full-time business and make $10,000 in profit per month. And since September of 2024, I have been documenting this journey as a way to kind of keep me accountable. I really wanted to take this journey seriously, and over time, I've been surprised by the reception of me just sharing this boring side of Etsy. My purpose has never been to brag or anything, but again, to keep me on my toes and hopefully inspire some others along the way who are also trying out this Etsy thing. So, whatever stage you're in your Etsy journey, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've already made millions off of Etsy, I welcome you to this channel. And if we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Jai. And off camera and off Etsy, I am a graphic designer and digital marketer by trade. Today, I'll be sharing how much I made in the last quarter of 2025, and I want to preface this by setting some expectations. Now, Q4 is known as just generally the best month for businesses all around. People are in a shopping mood for the holidays, buying gifts and decor and whatnot. So the assumption is that Q4 should be your best performing period on Etsy. But because I like to go against the grain, albeit unintentionally, that hasn't been the case for one of my shops. For now, I'm just covering my first shop where I sell both digital and physical products. And I don't share my exact niche on this channel, but I can tell you before anyone asks that I am in the general category of business or B2B products. Let's take a look. So here is a general view of how my shop has performed in Q4. In those 3 months, I got 13,600 visits, which with a conversion rate of 3.2%, got me 438 orders all in all. And yes, you can already see here that the graph is trending downwards. In October, I got 182 orders for a revenue of $5,585. In November, I got 152 orders for a revenue of about $4,307. And in December, I got 104 orders for a revenue of about $3,261. So in total for Q4, I made $13,154 in revenue. So just to recap, I used to just sell digital products, but then I started introducing print-on-demand products around July to August last year. And it was only in September when they started taking off. Now, while I did hope that maybe this year my Q4 would be, life-changing, I'm not surprised that this Q4 didn't actually become my most profitable period again. And that's because if we turn back to 2024, my revenue for October to December are also on this downward trend. So this just goes to show that not every shop performs best on Q4. It really depends on your niche. And it makes sense, right? No shop is gonna perform at 100 all year long. For example, if your target audience is mothers, then your best months would probably be May and Q4. If it's dads, maybe it's June and Q4. If it's teachers, it's probably September and maybe Q4 again. And just to give you a glimpse of my other shop, which is a bit more commercial in terms of my audience because I sell shirts for pet owners, Q4 was actually my most profitable quarter as seen through this upward movement from October to December. Now, I won't go into the numbers for now, but I will be doing a full year recap video for this shop specifically, so do subscribe if you don't want to miss this. Anyway, the point is that every shop performs differently. And if you're not cashing in like everyone else is during certain periods of the year, that doesn't mean that you're behind. You just have your own timeline. Okay, now back to the numbers because we're not yet done. So the most exciting part is finding out how much I get to keep from all this revenue, right? Well, there are of course several factors to take note of. First is that for Q4, I have been running Etsy ads somewhat aggressively. I'm not gonna go into my ads dashboard anymore because I actually have them turned off right now. But let's just say that on my ads, I have mostly just been breaking even. And so I've been running them to just gain visibility for my products. Then of course we have production costs with my print provider, Printify. And of course we have the never-ending list of Etsy fees, which yes, as someone from the Philippines, I do have to pay a bit extra for dollar conversions. Now I won't be going into super hyper-specific detail and showing you the books. Well, not because I don't want to, but because I physically can't. I actually accidentally deleted the spreadsheet that I was using to keep track of my October and November expenses. And yes, I know, it's bad for business. One of my resolutions this year is to actually get better at handling the business side of things. But for now, I can safely say that my net margins are at 20%. To be completely honest, 20% is a very conservative estimate. My margins are definitely at least slightly higher. It could be even closer to 30%, but I'll just keep it at 20% for now. So when we look at the monthly statements for October, I got 258,745 pesos in gross profit. Let's just say that my net profit is around 51,000 pesos or $866. For November, my gross profit is 195,117 pesos for a net profit of about 39,000 or about $662. And for December, my gross profit is 133,035 pesos for a net profit of about 26,000 pesos or $441. This gives me a total of 116,000 pesos or $2,000 in take-home money for Q4. I think I also have to mention, for those who are not from the Philippines, that the Philippine peso isn't doing so well on the foreign exchange right now. Actually, it hasn't for a while now. So yeah, the dollar equivalents may seem lower than usual, but we take what we can get. Anyway, I like to leave these videos with at least one lesson or strategy learned, so let me leave you with two. First is that it really does take time to fully understand your shop and how it will perform in the market. I've been able to study my shop's behavior for 2 Q4s now, and it's easy to say that, okay, every Christmas time, I shouldn't expect super big numbers because of the niche that I'm in. But even then, who's to say that this is how my shop is going to perform every Q4 until the end of time, right? Because we only have 2 reference points for now, and personally, I don't think that's enough data to draw a concrete conclusion from. Because who knows, maybe Q4 for 2026 or 2027 will look different. Which brings us to number 2, it's also part of our responsibility as business owners to adapt. Now that we see gaps in slow performing months, we can go back to the drawing board and start thinking, like, what new product lines can I introduce to my shop that will make up for these gaps? Or what new audiences can I target that would still make sense for my shop? And it doesn't even have to be limited to Etsy. Like, how can I bring in more customers without relying on Etsy's traffic? Or what other income streams can I pursue to make up for slow months? Nothing is set in stone, which can be either scary or exciting depending on how you look at it. But I believe that there are always opportunities to discover and grow our business. It just takes a bit of creativity, some database decisions, but also willingness to take some risks. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for joining me again on this journey. Now, to be honest, I don't know if I'll be doing these as regularly as I used to, which used to be every month on the dot. But I definitely will be sharing whenever I get any breakthroughs or significant growth and sharing the stories and strategies behind them. Because sharing is caring. If you'd like to, please share how 2025 Q4 went for you in the comments, as well as any lessons you may have learned from them. Also, do me a favor and boop that like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, I like to leave these videos with at least one lesson or strategy learned. So let me leave you with two. So